Hi, Be Hope Church. My name is Rachel Call, and I am one of the children's pastors at the Beaver Creek campus. And welcome back to 21 Days. Today we're going to be in Psalm 31. And in this psalm, we see David, and he is at a real low point in his life. He is being hunted by Saul, and he talks about in verses 9 through 13 how people hate him and they want to kill him. And so definitely a less than ideal situation to be in, for sure. But then we see David switch everything up, and he talks about being glad, and he talks about rejoicing, and he talks about trusting in God, and he talks about how acknowledging how God has seen him and heard him in this low point in his life. And he even talks about how God gives abundant good things to those who find refuge in him. So at this low point in his life, David is choosing not to dwell in his tiredness, in his weariness, and in the imminent danger around him. He chooses to cling to God and simply trust in him. And we know David's not perfect because in verse 22, he admits to us that when his city was under attack, he thought God had abandoned him, but later to realize that God had actually heard his cries for help the entire time. So at this point, this really low point in David's life, he decided to cling to God. And sometimes we don't know what God's plan is going to be, but we can always make sure that we're acknowledging what God has done for us and what he will continue to do. So maybe if you're at a low point in your life, you just need to acknowledge the fact that God is in the midst of your situation. Or maybe you just need to simply trust in what God will do in your life. Or maybe you're not in a low point in your life and you just need to cling to God and ask him boldly for what he will do in the future, because the future is a time of uncertainty as well. And we don't know what God is doing sometimes. So just good to ask for what God can do, because he can do abundantly more than we even ask for. So church, I just encourage you to be strong and take heart even in times of uncertainty.
Thank you for joining us here today. Every morning at 6 a.m., you can join us again for another devotional from somebody else. It'll be a great way to start your day. And as you continue to fast, we want to hear from you, so you can put comments in the chats on each area of where you're watching and how you're joining in, so we can stay connected. We look forward to seeing you on the weekends at church. And we also want you to know every Saturday during this season, we are going to meet at 9 a.m. on each campus. And so as you are going through 21 days, check with your campus in each location so that we can come together and pray for all that God has, for what he's going to do as we move forward.